Hey there everyone, and this is the big one, the fifth iteration of Sony's Playstation, aptly named the PS5, which heralds the start of a new console generation, along with its competitor, the Xbox Series X. It has been available over a month now, and the Lightwing has managed to get a hold of one for your unboxing pleasure. I know this concept of unboxing consoles, it's remarkable, groundbreaking even. Okay, guess there's nothing left to do but unbox the console. But first, let's check out the box of the console. I love looking at the boxes of the console. Every time I get a new console, got to look at it closely, take a look at the details. Always a part of the essential part of the console buying experience. So let's do it. So looking at the box here, the Sony's gone with a two-tone colors of the console. Itself is a mostly two-tone color of black and white with a hint of blue. It is the first of the PlayStation original models to do this, with the rest of the original PlayStation models iterations more or less using one color. The size of the box is also worth note, as this by my eye is easily the biggest ever for a Sony PlayStation console. Now looking at the box, I can see 8K, 4K 120 HDR. Down below we've got the model number CFI 1-10168, 8K, 4K 120 Hz, and high dynamic range content require a compatible display and supporting software. Paid for PlayStation Plus subscription, required for online multiplayer, sold separately, see back for details. Peggy 7. Okay, let's get into this. This is one big ass box, that's for sure. Going around to the side, contents include, it says here, I don't know if you can see this down below, PlayStation 5 console, wireless controller, base, HDMI cable, AC power cord, USB cable, printed materials, Astro's Playroom, pre-installed game. Looking at the back, wow, there's quite a bit of information, but no usual game promotion material here. I always like to see game promotion material on the back of my boxes for new console launches, but Sony have gone with some different information here. So first of all, 825 gigabytes, top right. Play like never before, says Sony. Well, I guess it's certainly got a lot of potential, and I'm very excited to see what this console generation is going to give the gamer. So what does it say? It says lightning speed, harness the power of a custom CPU and SSD with integrated input-output that rewrite the rules of what a PlayStation console can do. Yes, there has been much talk of this very extremely fast SSD the PS5 is using. We saw that in Mark Cerny's presentation about just how fast this much hyped up PS5 SSD. And next up is breathtaking immersion. Discover a deeper gaming experience with support for haptic feedback, adaptive triggers, and 3D audio technology. Now that's very interesting indeed. There's been a lot of talk about how this haptic feedback and adaptive triggers is quite revolutionary for the PlayStation DualSense controller, and I'm looking forward to testing it out myself. And we saw also in Mark Cerny's presentation a lot about 3D audio technology as well. It's kind of a dry presentation, but here they mentioned it again. So yeah, I'm curious. I'm very curious about what kind of advancements it's going to bring. Studying games, marvel at incredible graphics and experience new PS5 features. play a back catalogue of supported PS4 games with system update. Now that's very interesting as well, because Sony have gone on record saying there's 100 or so backwards compatible games, so I'm definitely looking forward to what that's going to offer. It hasn't been quite as extensive as what Microsoft has promised, but yeah, we'll see what Sony can do with the backwards compatibility for PS4 games. From my experience, PS4 games, the previous generation games for each console has only really mattered that much at launch for the console, where a lot of players want to play some of the games that they, the games that they've been playing in console generations. And as time has gone on, the backward compatibility hasn't been that important, where people want more new experiences. But it's very nice to see that they're at least offering some backwards compatibility. Okay, now moving the box along, we've got we've got the console itself, which I have bought the disc version, and DualSense here, and the PS5 logo at the bottom, and back to the front. Okay, good stuff.
So the story of how the PlayStation actually came about is pretty interesting. Sony originally were going to partner with Nintendo to provide a CD-based add-on to the Nintendo PlayStation, as it was going to be called. But Nintendo decided to renege on the deal, as Sony and Nintendo could not come to a financial agreement about how the revenue should be split. So in response to this, the Sony president, Norio Uga, decided to appoint somebody called Ken Kutaragi as the head of the PlayStation division to create Sony's own console. And what they came up with was the Sony PlayStation. But interestingly, Sony had to move the PlayStation project over to Sony Music because it was a completely different financial entity, and because of that, resistance that had been shown by the higher ups in Sony to the PlayStation project initially could be bypassed. But Sony were not sure whether to make the console a fully 2D console or fully 3D console, and they looked to Sega for inspiration. So Sega were currently having a lot of success with Virtua Fighter in the arcades, and when they saw that success, they decided to go with a fully 3D console because Virtua Fighter was a fully 3D game with polygons. Sega had also done a similar thing and pulled out of a deal with Sony when Sony approached Sega. So Sony was really left with not much choice other than to go it alone. So here I am getting into the good stuff of the box. Well, clearly self-explanatory. There is the instruction manual and the warranty manual. There's nothing really exciting about that, but yeah, the power cord. It's all been packaged very nicely, as you would expect from a Sony product. Now the DualSense this is the first time I have held it properly, and I have to say it's very solidly. It feels very solid, and the quality feels higher than the DualShock 4, and it's very much in the same two-tone as the console itself. And I have to say, I do like the feel of this. I'm looking forward immensely to trying out the adaptive triggers and the haptic feedback that's much vaunted from a lot of the other media I've seen about the console. Now this is the stand for the base of the console. Now the console can go in vertical mode and it can go in horizontal mode. So I am going to be using it in horizontal mode in my setup because it does It does fit in my entertainment unit, but I can see other people might having a problem with that. There is actually a port on the underside. There is a port inside the stand that holds a screw that can be attached for the vertical mode, if I'm correct. It's just the HDMI cable, and hopefully it supports 2.1 HDMI 2.1 to give you the high refresh rate. So you have to check if your TV is compatible with HDMI 2.1. Both the new next generation consoles use HDMI 2.1, and older TV sets will not be supporting HDMI 2.1, and you have to check if your cable supports 2.1 as well. Now the cables that do come with the console should support 2.1, but if you're using another cable, check that it supports 2.1, because you won't get that high refresh rate if you use a cable that doesn't support it, or if your TV doesn't support it as well. So if you're planning to upgrade your new TV, it's a good choice to do it now. Now the PlayStation 5 is definitely the biggest console I have ever had to unbox, and I think you can see that I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the actual box out of the actual PS5 out of the box, because it is such a big console. But as far as size goes, I have a feeling Sony may be looking to revise the console later on with a new iteration, pretty much as they done with the previous PlayStation 4. But for now, I think they will at least stay with this model for a while yet. So I'm happy with it, but also if you do wait for a further reiteration of the console, you know, there may be improvements made to those as well. So, and there we have it, the unveiling of my very first PS5, and I gotta say, I really do like the design of it. The design is very futuristic in my opinion, and I'm loving like the bold statement it shows. It's definitely one of the most boldest statements of design of any of the PlayStations, I think. Has a very almost kind of Alienware feel to it, like from Alienware PCs, or maybe even Alien kind of design as well. That's just my opinion, but yeah, I really do like the design of the PlayStation 5. I'd also want to see different colors as well. I'd like an all black one. In fact, I'm pretty certain Sony will come out with different side plates. As you can see, it has white side plates at the moment, but they are removable, and an all black one would definitely pique my interest for sure. Here we go, and this is everything I got in the box. Bizarrely, I am kind of missing I'm supposed to have a USB Type-C cable with the package, but I think Sony forgot to include one. I gotta say, just the overall size and weight of the PlayStation 5 is pretty much, I think, dwarfs pretty much any console I've had before, including the OG Xbox. I thought the OG Xbox was big, but once you get this in your hands, whoa, you'll know what I'm talking about. So here we go. I'm going to put the stand on it, because if you do try and just put the PlayStation 5 without the stand, it's wobbly. So you do need the stand either on the bottom of it, or if you have it in vertical mode, you can there's a screw that you can attach that keeps it stable. So yeah. But if you do try and move the PS5 when it's got the stand on, like without holding the stand does feel like it will slide off. So be careful about moving your PS5 while the stand is on. Make sure you have a firm grip of the stand and the PS5 as well. So I'm going to give you some close-up shots of the PlayStation 5 just to give you a better look, and just go over some of the ports and what's features on the console and its dimensions. So the dimensions are 390mm by 104mm by 266mm width times height times depth, with a weight of 4.5 kilograms for the disc drive version of the PS5, and the PlayStation 5 Digital Edition comes in at 3.9 kilograms, and the dimensions are 390 millimeters by 92 millimeters by 260 millimeters width times height times depth. In the front of the console, it will be Type A port, high-speed USB, Type C port, super speed USB 10 Gbps. On the back, there will be Type A port ×2 super speed USB Gbps. And when it comes to the power socket, the digital edition will have a 340 watt power socket, while the traditional version of the console will have a 350 watt one. It has also been confirmed that both consoles will unsurprisingly have a HDMI port, which will support 4K 120 kHz TVs, 8K TVs, and VRR variable refresh rate specified by HDMI version 2.1. This port alongside the AC in connector will be located on the back of the PS5. For networking, both consoles will have an Ethernet port socket as well as a Bluetooth 5.1 and the ability to connect to Wi-Fi thanks to IEEE 802.11. The LAN port will be located on the back of the PS5 also. Hopefully this information will help you decide whether or not you'd like to which PS5 you would like to purchase. But as for this video, I've come to the end of it. Thanks for making it all the way to the end of the video. I'm super excited to see what the PlayStation 5 is going to give us this generation, but until then I got some more PS5 to play until then, so I'm going to check out Astro's Playroom. Don't forget to like the video on the way out. Helps a lot with the YouTube, and if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe on your way out. And until the next video, take care and catch you later. Bye.